Those crypto influencers are confusing. They sound so uber smart when they're saying only risk what you can afford to lose or stay within your risk tolerance. But what on earth is this supposed to mean, right? We're getting into crypto in order to make money, not in order to lose money. So what does it mean? How much can you afford to lose? I don't try to lose anything, right? I cannot afford to lose a single cent. This is what most people think. But there is actually some kind of context to this. There is some theory behind this which does underpin statements like this. Think about it the following way. Let's say you play a game and you've got a 50-50% chance of winning versus losing. So you're basically throwing a coin. You've got a coin flip. And you win and lose the exact same amount of money in both cases. Then that's a completely neutral game. And most people wouldn't necessarily play that game. Maybe some people might if it's just about $1. But let's say it's about $1 million and you don't have tens of millions of dollars, then playing that game wouldn't be a great offer. Now let's switch this up a little bit. And let's say this coin isn't 100% neutral. Let's say the coin lands on one side in 51% of the times and on the other side in 49% of the times. And again, the amounts that you would win and lose are exactly equal. Now, in theory, you should always be playing that game, right? Because you have a positive expected value. But in practice, you might not want to play that game if the amounts are too high. So let's say you've got a net worth of $100,000 and that kind of coin flip requires a minimum buy-in of $100,000. And you know you've got a positive expected value here, right? You would be gaining an additional $100,000 in 51% of the cases. You would be losing $100,000, so all of your money in 49% of the cases. Would you still do this? Probably not, right? Why would you not do this? So let's ignore all other aspects, how you could beat the system by, like splitting the profits and sharing this with other people, right? This is only about your net worth. Why would you not play this? It's because of a concept called marginal utility. Money has very, very strongly decreasing marginal utility. If you've got $0 to your name, then $100 are incredibly valuable to you because then you can buy food, then you can potentially buy shelter for a day or two. You have a lot of value for those first $100. However, if you already own $1 million, then those $100 mean pretty much nothing to you, right? Of course, you still appreciate having $100 more than having $100 less. But in fact, it doesn't really impact your life in any significant way. So there's a strong decreasing marginal utility, right? At the beginning, you're paying for the basics. At the end, it only is about luxuries that you can also simply just forget about, right? They're not that important. And so that's why you can only bet what you can afford to lose. So you have to take into consideration how much is the potential gain worth it to you versus how much do you want to not have that loss. And so normally you wouldn't enter a perfectly 50-50% game, right? You wouldn't enter this because the additional, say, $10,000 isn't not worth as much to you as if you were to lose $10,000. A loss of $10,000 would affect your life way more than an additional gain of $10,000 would. Again, because utility of money is decreasing the more money you have. But that's then at the odds of taking opportunities. Right? Because in the end, we want to gain as much as possible. If we invest in crypto, we want to ride the bull market as much as possible. We don't want to think about risk. So there's something here at odds, right? We want to put as much as possible in a market where we've got strong conviction in, simply just to ride this, right? Why would we only put $100 in crypto or in Bitcoin, make maybe $200 out of it, if at the same time we already had $100,000 to our name and we could have bet much more? So there is an optimal strategy here. And the way to think about this in psychological terms is to simply consider how much would I be okay to lose without really changing my life too much, right? So what is your maximum downside that you could still sleep well with? So if you've got $100,000, if you were to lose, say, $5,000, it's not really that big of a deal. If on the other side, you've got a positive expected value of maybe making $20,000.
This video is sponsored by the Premium membership. I never take any money from any crypto project. I never take any affiliate links from centralized exchanges. I never pump and dump coins. Instead, I offer valuable tutorials in the Premium membership. Feel free to check it out.
Now, why am I talking about probabilities all the time? And why am I talking about potential outcomes? It's because in investing, you have to think in those terms. Nobody knows deterministically where prices will go. Nobody has an idea. But some people that take investing to the next level, that take trading to the next level, think about what is the expected outcome of something. Let's say you see via on-chain analysis that a lot of new investors jump into an altcoin, right? A lot of new people buy an altcoin. But at the same time, you also see that there are very large whales that could potentially take profit and stamp on all of those new people. In that scenario, you might have a positive expected value because more money is getting into the asset. But on the other hand, you cannot control what the whales are doing. And if they are suddenly dumping right after you've bought, then you're losing. So if you play the game maybe 100 times, maybe you're going to win in 60% of the cases, and maybe in 40% of the cases, you get dumped on by the whales, right? This is how to fundamentally think about this, right? Nobody can predict what every single market participant will do if they buy or sell or if they move in circles. Nobody has an idea, but we can work with probabilities and we have to estimate those probabilities. And so how do we get out of this dilemma that we want to ride the bull market as much as possible, but at the same time, we don't want to risk that much that a down movement, in case it happens, will wreck our life? There's two ways to resolve this puzzle, right? The first way is to simply just have more money, right? As in, if you don't bet your last dollar, if you've got a lot of money already saved up, then getting a bit more fluctuation in your portfolio doesn't really matter that much, right? The person that's got $1 million that gets $100 of fluctuation will not really care about this. Whereas the person that's broke will have a very hard time with $100 fluctuations. And so obviously scale this up, right? The more money you have, the more fluctuation you can take, the more you can take advantage of rallies like this. So that's why the very first step in investing is not to learn about investing, it's to build your first capital stock, right? To maybe have another side hustle, to save more, to have at least, I'd say, 2 years of your annual income saved up. That's usually when speculation makes real sense. When speculation can generate more income than if you were to simply just work more. Because obviously speculation also takes a lot of time if you want to be among the winners, right? There's only a few winners in the market, maybe 10%, maybe 5%, depending on how efficient the market is. Most people lose, and in order to be among the top people, you have to invest a lot of time, and that's okay when you've got enough capital. If you have to invest a lot of time anyways, and you would be making more money by working an additional job, then rather do that first, right? Don't start speculating if you only have 1 or 2 months saved up that you can speculate with. Have more money, only then get into speculation, only then try to beat the market. The second way to beat those mechanics is to be better at estimating the odds. So instead of having a winning probability of 51% versus 49%, learn so much about the market, learn so much about the particular asset that you're investing in, that you're maybe not just among the top 10%, but maybe even the top 1%, right? If you've got something that's close to insider knowledge without being illegal, then you can obviously make money from this. So only bet what you can afford to lose, but you can bet more if you've got more capital, and you can bet more if you have more knowledge about the asset or the market, if the odds are stacked in your favor. And here comes my shameless plug. I try to build a community of winners over here, right? We follow other winning traders, we track their wallets, we track other influencers, and we buy with the influencer, for the influencer talks about it on their YouTube channel. We try to front run the attention and make money that way. And that's what the premium membership is about, right? So we try to attack this mainly from the skill perspective. The more skill, the more knowledge we have, the more we can potentially bet. But still, if you only have $1,000 to your name, then this is definitely not for you. It's now $125 per month. So you need to have at least $5,000 to make this worthwhile. I think it's even better to have $10,000 in crypto. Once you're at that point, once you've got some time to invest in this, right, at least an hour a day, and you've got at least $10,000, then premium might make sense for you. If you're still below this, you haven't yet saved enough, or you don't have enough time, then probably crypto speculation, active crypto speculation, might not even be for you, because then it's very unlikely that you're going to be among the few winners. right? When you make a 10x on your investment, when you outperform holding Bitcoin by 10x, then there are 9 other people that lost their entire capital. Now, nobody is easily losing their entire capital, so probably in order to make your 10x, you have to be among the top 5% or so of people. Right, so this is how you have to think about this. You have to be very, very much informed. You have to be very, very much skilled. And you don't just get those 10x's randomly, right? It does take effort. It does take a good community around this that's already winning. And that's, in the end, how you can stack the odds in your favor. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time. Cheers.